What's up, ladies and gents? This is KSigKid coming at you with another Destiny video. Today we've got a real big first for the channel. This is my first solo raid, my first actual clear of Crota's End solo, and we did it on heroic mode. So I hope you enjoy this video. We're gonna walk you through it. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm picking up all the agility that I can on my Sunsinger. That's gonna be really key to pretty much getting through the Thrall Pit, and of course, I've got the MIDA on. So that's what we're rocking out, and like I said, we're going to be doing heroic mode on Crota's End. Now obviously, this is in advance of the Age of Triumph, and what I thought was, there's probably a lot of people relatively new to Destiny that have never, ever raided in Crota's End before, so I think that this is going to be a good video just to showcase some of the different things that you need to do, and we're going to walk through all of the important parts of this raid. The entire thing. You can see we've got a 21-minute video here, so we're going to go through the entire raid. Pretty much you stand on that platform until this bridge forms, and it takes a little while. No sense in waiting through that. Jump into this hole, except for please do not jump, just fall into the hole, or you will absolutely die at the end. So the reason why we have our agility up all the way is because as we run through this entire pit, we're going to get the Weight of Darkness. You'll see it on the left hand side of our screen. We'll get that, and what that's going to do is it's going to slow us down. The way that we clear off the Weight of Darkness is by standing around those lamps, the one that I just passed right now. But we're not going to stop just yet. We're going to run through a couple lamps. So I should say that previously when I've done this lamp puzzle, I've definitely used some different glitches and gotten through it that way, but we're not going to do that. We're going to run through pretty much every lamp that there is, just so people can see what that's all about. But I will say, this is probably the first time that I've really run through Crota since we did our flawless video way back in March, and not March of this year, but March of last year, and I didn't even do the lamp running, and if I did, it would have been using the glitches, so I'm kind of just fumbling my way around here. So it's going to be a little bit tricky as far as figuring out what's going on, but that's just the way that this puzzle is anyway. Even if we ran it exactly perfectly, you wouldn't be able to just sit back and be like, yes, I know exactly how I'm going to run through this. My number one tip is, try to run towards any of the lights. So you could see off in the distance there was a light there, but we were never going to make it to that light. That light was just out of the way. That's not the one we needed to go to. You can see that in general, the lamps that you need to go to aren't really that far away from the previous ones you were at. So right here, I need to go ahead and stop. You can see I need to tick down that Weight of Darkness. The solar grenades with the burn, it just does wonders. I really don't even need to shoot. Unless there are cursed thralls, then those might be good. But you can see this lamp right here. And one of the good things is that, yes, whenever you're at a lamp, your Weight of Darkness goes down. But also, as you're standing there and decharging your Weight of Darkness, the lamp will eventually explode. And what that does is, well, one, it makes sure that you don't stick around forever. And two, it makes it so that you're really not going to be going back to lamps that you were already at. This is actually a really smart and really good design choice. So whenever I see a bright white lamp, I know to run to it. I know it's not going to be a lamp I was already at, because if it was, holy crap, you would get lost in here forever, especially if you haven't done this raid for a year, 2 years, whatever the case may be, or ever. So I think that's a really nice thing. I think that's something that game players don't typically think about. Pretty much run towards any white lamp here because Bungie's pretty much lighting the way for you, and they're making it so that you don't backtrack. Anytime you have a nice path to go ahead and run towards multiple lamps, go ahead and do it. You can see anytime I stop to pretty much take off my Weight of Darkness, I get absolutely swarmed by thralls. You don't need to get all the way back down to 0, but the less Weight of Darkness you have, the faster you move. Along with the MIDA and all of my agility, I'm moving pretty well though right now. You can see a lot of times whenever I get stuck, I look around to see where I need to go. Right now, this is the trickiest spot right here, because there didn't appear to be any lamps for me to run to. But that knight with the sword, that yellow major knight with the sword, he was actually the key. What I needed to do right there was run up the hill where the knight was. That's where I actually needed to go, instead of kind of getting all turned around and then exploded by that cursed thrall. I need to actually run up the hill, and then I'll actually find my way towards the next light. That one was a little bit tricky and a little bit hidden, but they do have that yellow major knight. I am so glad I didn't fall into that hole. They do have that yellow major knight as kind of a little bit of a milestone right there, so you can use it as a bit of a guide. You can see these thralls, they just run right through the solar grenade and they die by the time they get on the other side of it. Over here, I'm just looking for where the next light is. I can see a light over there, and it looks like that's where we want to go. As we start running towards here, I actually am going to skip right past that light because I know I'm near the end. So I'm going to skip past that, and I'm going to run over here towards that circle. That big plate right there, that's your goal. That's your home. Once I'm over here, I'm just going to go touch on this final light up here because this is where we want to go ahead and sit. We're going to have to deal with an ogre, but we'll see that in just a moment. I want to hop up onto this rock, so I made sure my weight of darkness was down, and I climbed over to the left of the rock, and I'm just crouched down. I don't want to die to that exploding lamp because that would be bad. You can see I didn't take even a lick of damage. Right over here where that light is that I did not activate, the ogre's spawning in. So just aiming down the sights with my butt not forgotten, and taking some pot shots at his head. There are absolutely no other thrall that are bothering me at all, and that's really nice. Though I'm on a rock anyway, and that's pretty much going to make it so that they can't do anything to me as it is. So that's it. All we have to do right now is sit and wait, so we'll skip ahead. Once the bridge is formed, we can go ahead and run through it, and we've officially cleared the first part solo of this raid. And like I said, we didn't use any of the jump glitching, we didn't do anything like that. We just went through it, we figured our way out through the raid, and that's how we went ahead and did it. Obviously, as we get towards hard and stuff, it'll be a little bit trickier whenever we're doing it on Age of Triumph. But we ended up getting ourselves an Oversoul Edict, and here we are at the bridge puzzle. Now we're solo here, so we are definitely going to cheese it. I'm going to change up a few things though. I'm going to put on my Genesis chain. I guess I'll leave on the But Not Forgotten, and then I'm going to put on the Raze Lighter. That's going to be pretty important for just getting through this really fast. What you need to do is, as soon as you spawn in, come down here to the middle plate, touch it, and then turn around and run back up the steps. We've got a sword bearer that we need to meet. We're going to meet him, and we're going to use one of our special attacks, and that's going to take him down right away. There it is. Grab that relic, and now we've got the first sword that was ever really in Destiny. Okay, so I've done this bridge jump before on my Titan, never before on my Warlock, so this is actually a first. Through some painstaking trial and error, I learned that my best option was to not go over the bridge. Instead, it's to swipe my way all the way past the bridge over to this little bit of a rock outing right over here, and then I'm kind of sword climbing to make sure I stay up on top of this, doing anything I can, and eventually I am able to just jump and come up here. Unfortunately, I lost my sword, and what this means is I cannot do any damage or kill that guardian, so I'm not even going to bother. I'm just going to pass him, and I'm going to run to the right side of this room. What we need to do here is we need to take care of 2 ogres, and they're going to be major ogres. In order to get them to spawn, you need to clear out these enemies. So now that we're actually at this stage, I feel like the Raze Lighter actually isn't the best option for me to have in my heavy slot. I probably would be better served to have a Gjallarhorn on right now, but I don't. And if I had a Gjallarhorn, that would make this part and the next part just a little bit easier. But I don't have it, and we're just going to have to go and make through. But the good thing is you can see what it's like whenever you mess up like I did and didn't kill that gate guardian who's got the sword, and he's just kind of walking around. He's basically invincible. We just need to avoid him, but we can still finish this encounter without even worrying about killing him. So that's a good thing. Also, for those of you that might know or might have looked, this encounter probably is going to be 100% different in the Age of Triumph than it is right now. I've got this feeling. Did you see the screenshot of the new bridge? They had those different statues like at the beginning of Oryx's raid. I've got a feeling you might have to carry husks right across the bridge, just like you had to start Oryx's raid. So that's going to be different. They did say that there are going to be some different tweaks. I feel like Crota's End in general could have used tweaks. This raid, obviously, it's soloable, and that's definitely different from all other raids. Not that you can't solo other raids, it's just you typically don't. In fact, I'm not even sure what the challenge modes or challenge areas are going to be in Crota's End. I would have thought maybe Sunsinger and Crota, those are pretty much the 2 quote-unquote bosses. But if they redid the bridge, I'm thinking it's going to be the bridge and Crota. That's going to be my guesses. And what about that sick no-scope that we had on that ogre there, huh? Yeah? My MLG? Anyway, that's the end of the bridge. Like I said, you just need to take care of those 2 ogres. None of the other enemies matter. They're just going to despawn. That's the end of it. If I had a Gjallarhorn, I could have just fired it off, and I would have been able to take enemies down. Plus in this Shrieker Thrallway, it would have been pretty nice, but we don't have it. What we're going to do though is we're going to swap up our abilities, basically our armor, recovery, and agility. I want to give myself a little bit more armor because I've been running around with no armor. Since I don't have a Gjallarhorn, I've got to shoot off basically 3 sniper rifle shots. Not exactly sure why he didn't die to 3 right there, but just another auto rifle bullet and that was it. Now I'm going to run down the left hand side of this map and hope I don't die. But actually, since I have my self-res, it's really not that big of a deal, which is why I just stayed aimed down the sights. I wanted to just get that Shrieker down. He's got one more shot, there he goes, and now it's just running through the rest of the hallway. The thralls, they don't matter, none of this stuff matters. All of those things are going to despawn, we're going to fall down into the pit, and then it's going to be time to go head on to Deathsinger. So if I happen to swap over to Gjallarhorn, I would want to be back on my Raze Lighter right now. So that's one of the reasons why I didn't swap, because I would have been losing heavy ammo, but I'm going to use this and I'm going to run up the left hand side. If I had more agility on right now, I would have just jumped up to the platform instead of running all the way around here. What we're going to do is we're going to cause these witches to come out, we're going to sword them, kill the Shrieker, and run to the other side. So 1 sword, and she's not dead. 2, I didn't even hit her. This is going well. 3 swords, there we go. 3rd time is a charm, I get blasted by that knight. If I throw 1 solar grenade on that Shrieker, it will die. So I know it doesn't feel like a solar grenade should be able to do it, but with the loadout we had in the beginning, nothing changed as far as my Sunsinger loadout as far as the perks go. You can see that there are the purple Shrieker Death Blast coming out. That means we killed the Shrieker. I just wanted to make sure. And we're going to run into the opposite side. We're going to do the exact same thing. Hopefully we kill the witch a lot easier. So the witch is coming out. 1 swipe, there it is, Phoenix Uppercut. And we've got a Shrieker, line up, throw the grenade. I missed a grenade. I totally missed a grenade. How did... I was like point blank range, and I missed the grenade. Luckily, it's really not that big of a deal. Just back up, fire off your sniper rifle, and then I'm just going to turn and run to our safe room, which is up here on the right-hand side. So the good thing is, I'm messing up all these things live. That makes you feel good. It makes you feel like you don't have to be perfect, and trust me, you're going to see that at the end too. You don't have to be perfect, and you can get through this stuff, and it makes everybody feel good. So I'm just clearing out some of these other enemies. I'm waiting until we get the Deathsinger song to come up, because whenever that comes up, that final countdown, she's going to be able to take more damage. So no sense in wasting your time. Not like it's going to be that big of a deal right now anyway, but whenever we get towards this on the Age of Triumph, it could make a difference. I'm jumping off onto this little platform, but I don't see her. She should be over there. Instead, she's down to the middle a little bit, so I'm just going to aim with my sniper rifle. Yes, I am taking pot shots from the other enemies, but she's not dealing out any damage to me, and no sense in running in towards the middle of the room. There she goes. So the boss is down, but the problem is, you've got to clear out these other enemies. So now is not a good time to die. You haven't hit the checkpoint yet. You hit the checkpoint whenever you get your loot and your rewards. We didn't get those yet, so we've got to clear out some of these other enemies. Obviously, the acolytes are no problem, but there are going to be a whole lot of major knights you have to take care of. So if you've got your sniper rifle, your shotgun, or of course your sword, you'll be able to take them down really quickly. And you can see right here, I've also got those solar grenades, so they deal out a lot of damage while also debuffing the enemy. 1 swipe, 1 Phoenix Uppercut, and the knights, they just say that they've had enough. It's really not that big of a deal. Right here is kind of fun. This is kind of our little bit of a shooting gallery before we get to Crota, before we actually have to stop and think and worry about all the different things we have to do in soloing Crota. There's a lot of stuff. There's definitely a lot of stuff. And then, of course, we're going to swap our loadout as well. So we'll get on to all of that in just a moment after we clear out all of these different knights. Now, one thing to watch out for, as you push on through this room, those knights, they are going to come out of the doorway. Just like I killed the one in the doorway, more of them are going to come out the doorway. And if you're not paying attention, they're going to swarm you and try to double slam you. That would have hurt a whole lot. I did get hit a little bit, but I'm alive. I killed them, and you can see they're still spawning out here in doubles. They're just not done. They haven't had enough just yet. Just go home, knights, you're drunk. Go home, knights, you're drunk. So some people might be asking why I'm going ahead and soloing Crota whenever we're going to get this raid at 400 light in just a couple days. Well, I haven't played this raid in a long time. It's going to be the featured weekly raid this week with a challenge mode. I figure I might as well get comfortable again with the aspects of it. And I just have always wanted to do it. I tried it long ago, back whenever there was a No Land Beyond and a heavy ammo and icebreaker glitch going on. I tried it for a little while. I didn't really have any good success with it, and it's something that I've always just kind of wanted to do, so I figured, why the heck not? It all fits together, and plus, everybody's going to be interested in seeing some Crota's raid footage because it's nostalgia now, and it's going to actually be relevant to the game. So it's not just nostalgia, but we're also going to be actually getting loot from it. And like I said in the beginning, there are a lot of people, way more people than you would even imagine. Probably people who are fans of this channel, that are fans of this channel and watch this channel a lot, that have never even done Crota's End or Vault of Glass. So this stuff is good for all of them. We got our Radiant Shard, and that means we can move on to Crota. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap up to the Starfire Protocol. What the heck? So Starfire Protocol, this exotic pretty much never gets used, but it lets me hold 2 fusion grenades, and I can still go ahead and have all of the burns on them. So we're going to swap over to the fusion grenades, and I ended up getting this idea off of the Hurley effect. So that's who kind of gave me the idea to run this out. I have the Starfire Protocol. I figured I might as well put it on. I leveled it up a little bit with motes, and we're going to swap on over to the Red Death. My heavy, it truly doesn't matter. I have on the But Not Forgotten, but after one run, I realized that having a sniper rifle on was a bad idea. So I'm going to go ahead and put on a full auto shotgun. That's going to be a much better idea for me. Like I said, I really didn't use my heavy at all. That wasn't a big deal. Red Death was a really big deal. My full auto shotgun was a really big deal. And the Starfire Protocol was a pretty big deal. Not the biggest deal in the world, but it didn't hurt at all to go ahead and have it for that extra grenade while I could also have the burn. So for those people that don't know, the presence of Crota means that your health will not regenerate. And in Heroic and Hard mode, you do not have a Chalice of Light to get your health to regenerate. That's why I'm rocking out the Red Death. That's pretty much the only reason, because even though it's nerfed, even though it's going to take several enemies to go ahead and kill with the Red Death to get a full health bar, it's at least something that's guaranteed. You're guaranteed to get the health on every kill. That beats out the Suros, that beats out life support, even though some of those things might perform a little bit better as far as the amount of health they give you. I went for what was just guaranteed and stable. Somebody asked on the forums if Red Death would be viable for Crota still. I would say that yes, it probably will be, because by the time Crota comes out for the Age of Triumph, Red Death will be buffed. It's not going to be like it was, it's not going to be as good as it was, but it'll give you more health, and if I was able to go ahead and do it solo in a team, along with the orb strategies, you should be just fine. So right now, we cleared out the rooms, we're going to run out here, and it's time to go ahead and start doing Crota. For starters, I want to clear out some of these Thrall so they don't start smacking me around whenever I need to kill this guy. And watch out for Cursed Thralls. So my full auto shotgun, plus throwing out that one fusion grenade, that was really nice. Pick up the sword and run over to one of the sides, whichever side you're more comfortable. I'm going to drop the sword, I'm going to cast my super, and throw out one fusion grenade to stick him. Pick up that sword, please pick it up. Run in and throw a second fusion grenade. That's going to get him down to his knee, and then 3 sword swipes, and I'm out. I did get 4 a couple times, but I figured, why waste it? He's going to go down in 2 sword blasts anyway, so why waste it? After that, it's just running over into this room, and here you can go ahead and regenerate your health with the Red Death. Again, watch out for those Cursed Thralls. Those can put a real big hurt on your day. Now, one of the times in one of the runs, I ran out of my Red Death ammo, and I was in such bad shape because I could not regenerate health at all. So please, be mindful of your ammo. Be mindful of your ammo. It really doesn't matter if I take pot shots from these Thrall. It's not that big of a deal because there are so many Thrall running around that you can go ahead and always kill something and always get your health back. I saw there were a few Cursed Thrall over there. I wanted to kill those. They weren't kind of coming around here, but you never know what Cursed Thrall are going to do. So we've got our Sword Bearer out again, and Crota is not in position. So there's no sense in killing the Sword Bearer right now. We can go ahead and deal out some damage to him, but we need to look for Crota, and we need to wait for Crota to run back to the middle. I'm trying to find out where Crota is exactly. That's why I'm jumping up, trying to see if I can find him at all up there. And unfortunately, as I'm doing this, I'm getting hit by the Sword Knight. So this is really bad what I'm doing right now. Again, this is what I was saying. You don't have to be exactly perfect. You can be a complete mess like I am and still get this stuff done. So again, I'm trying to peek out looking for Crota, and the Sword Knight comes in again, and I just had enough. I'm taking him down as I see Crota running in. I killed him with the Red Death instead of my shotgun just to get that health, but it was probably a bad trade-off. Again, same thing as last time. Popping my super, throwing out a grenade, picking up the sword, jumping up, throwing my second grenade, and Crota 1, 2, he's down. That's it. We ended up finishing heroic hard mode Crota solo, and it was nice. We got ourselves a Fang of Ur-Ute, which I actually didn't have in my inventory. I deleted it before, and that's the end of it. That was our first solo hard Crota attempt, and we got it done. I'm really glad that we got it done. That was really nice, really fun to do, And also, we ended up getting some additional loot, a No Land Beyond. Of course, it's a year 1 No Land Beyond, 160, right? No Land. Anyway, guys and gals, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and smack that like button and subscribe to the channel. Check out these awesome videos. Good luck with your raids, your drops, your Crota, and I'll see you around in Destiny. #Crota time.